guys. Welcome again uh, to our new topic for today. Today is going to be special. I'm going to talk about how to earn at least 40,000 pesos as a newbie freelancer. So today's extra special because I'm going to walk you through an actual job. I looked for two jobs prior to recording this video, and I'll show you that there are a lot of jobs, and you can get jobs. There are over 100,000 jobs posted in Upwork right now, and you can find jobs very quickly if you know how to look and you know how to use filters. And if you haven't watched it already, I have a separate video that teaches you how to use the filters inside Upwork, okay, so that you can find the jobs that you prefer, okay. And today, as I mentioned earlier, my topic is to teach you and show you how to earn more than 40,000 pesos as a newbie freelancer. Okay, and I'll choose to do the math first before I'll show you the actual jobs that I found in Upwork. I'll give you a picture of how does a freelancer earnings actually look like. Okay, so as you all know, you are called a freelancer because you are a shared resource. Okay, so you are capable of having multiple clients. Okay, so the key here in finding multiple clients is always look for clients who are in different time zones. Okay, so for example, you have a US client, then you can get a client in a different time zone, maybe get an Australian client, so you have a day job and you also have a job that doesn't collide with a schedule of that Australian client. Okay, US and Australian client. Okay, now let's do the math first. Okay, I have a clipboard here, okay, just to show you the figures first. Okay, have a clipboard. So for example, you're a newbie and you are charging $5 an hour for a job. Okay, so $5, this is how it looks like. So that's $5 an hour per hour. So about that, $5 per hour. So for example, this is an Australian client and you're working full-time, so you will work 40 hours per week. So that's times 40 hours per week. Okay, so that means for this client you have $200 per week. Okay, and in pesos, the current exchange rate is 49 pesos. So this is 5,880 per week. Okay, so that's how it looks like. $5 an hour, you work full time, so that's $40. 40 hours per week or 8 hours per day. So at the end of the week, you have $200. So per week, you have 5,880. Okay, now if you work 4 weeks a month, so that means you have 23,520 per week for that Australian client alone. Okay, per month. I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted. So sorry about that. So that is 23,000 pesos. Okay. Now, if you work in an office, you might think that the figure doesn't really is not really big. No big deal. But let me explain why this is a good earning as a freelancer. 23,000. Now, if for example, that's 5,880 per week. So being a freelancer, you don't have to pay transportation. You eat at home, so you save a lot of money by just staying at home. So if you're spending like 300 pesos to commute and eat, so that means 500, 5,880 less. If you have 300, you're spending 300 pesos a day to go to work, then you're actually spending 1,500 pesos just to get to work per week. Okay? Now, a freelancer, on the other hand, doesn't have those kinds of expenses. Our expenses are very minimal. It's very close to zero on a daily basis because we just eat at home and we don't have expenses for transportation. So for a freelancer to earn 23,520 per month, that's already that's, I'm not saying this is big, but it's a decent income since you have very little expenses to get to work every day. Okay, so 23,000 for an office worker doesn't feel like 23,000. It's a different feeling if you're a freelancer. Can you just imagine getting your paycheck 5,880 per week and you almost have zero expenses for the week? How much money do you spend on groceries? You spend 3,000 per week, so you still have an extra 2,000 pesos per week. Okay, now for example, this is your Australian client. You work full time, so that's your earning. Since you're a freelancer, you can also take part-time jobs. Okay, so say for example it's a part-time job. So part-time jobs normally freelancers charge higher. So for example, for a part-time job, say this is a US client, and then you're doing it 2 hours per day, and you charge 10 hours, $10 per hour. So that means $10 per hour, $10 per hour times 10 hours per week, because you're doing it 2 hours per day. So that means you have $100. So exchange rate now is 4,000. It's 49 pesos, so that's going to be 4,900 pesos. So can you just imagine? It's 5,880. Let me just add that real quick here. That's 5,880 plus 4,900. 10,700 per week at the end of the week. Okay, can you just imagine? You're spending 3,000 for groceries for the entire family. You're earning 10,000 at the end of the week, every week. Can you just imagine the impact? So earning more than 40,000 in an office setting versus somebody working online with multiple clients as a freelancer are entirely different, because as a freelancer you have less expenses. I don't think you will spend 10,700 pesos on living expenses per week. Okay, so yep, so this is not like this is I see this as a potential earning for a newbie freelancer, and I'll show you because before this video, as I mentioned earlier, I recorded my screen. I found 2 jobs that had just been posted that can earn you these figures. So I just looked for the job prior to the recording, so that means this is a realistic example, and you can really find jobs paying this amount of dollars for a freelancer. Okay, so I'll show you now the actual jobs and the figures or the salaries related to those jobs. Okay, so here we are. This is the first job that I've found. As you can see, this was just posted like a few minutes ago, renewed. Some probably the client edited the job post a few minutes ago, but when I looked at this earlier, it has just been posted. So as you can see, this is a regular job post. This is how it looks like. You have details of the client here. So this is an Australian client, the current time for the client, and currently they have 3 jobs posted. So that means they have other jobs that are open. Average rate is $49.99. So this is the job itself, and they accept entry level or newbie freelancers, and currently their pay is $5 an hour for customer service agents. So you can also bid on the same rate. Okay, so as you can see, if you take this job, this is going to be a full-time job. It says more than 30 hours per week. So in my computation earlier, that means you'll have at least $200 per week. So that's 5,880 for this job as a customer service agent. Okay. Now the other job, this is Australian time, so you are working in Philippine time, because Australian time is almost the same Philippine time. I think this is there is just 1 or 2 hour difference. Okay, so at night you can also get like a U.S. client. So I found this other client. This is chat support. Okay, so it says intercom chat support. Don't worry about if you don't worry about this one. Intercom is like Zendesk. It's a CRM. It's just like Zendesk. And don't worry about stuff here if you don't know what this is. You don't understand what's written on the job post itself, because clients would actually train you. Especially this one. This is a tool, so it's a tool related description here, but don't worry about that. Clients would actually train you, okay, for you to handle this tool. And there are also a lot of YouTube videos about Intercom, and you can also go to Intercom's website to check how it works, so you have an idea. Okay, so this one, the client is from the United States, as you can see. So they have spent over 90,000. Their average hourly rate is $13. And this is chat support. It's for us an ambulance software for a startup company, less than 30 hours, so that means part-time. They're also accepting entry-level freelancers. See their current job, current pay. They're paying $13 average hourly rate. So you can probably charge the client around $10. Okay, so since this is part-time, less than 30 hours per week, if the client allows it, you can probably work 2-3 hours per day, since it's part-time. Then if, for example, you're working 2 hours per day, then you have an extra $100 per week. See, so as you can see from the first example that I showed you, this is an Australian client. You work for them in business hours in Philippine time. And then this is a U.S. client. So you have a potential earning of $300 per week. Okay, and $300 per week means over 40,000 per week as a freelancer. Okay, so in a normal office setting, it's probably hard to get that level of income, but in freelancing it's very possible, because you are able to work with multiple clients. Okay.